Are you planning to attend Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party this year, but feel absolutely overwhelmed by the amount of planning involved? Well, you're definitely not alone, and you're exactly in the right place as I'm about to share some of my favorite insider tips and tricks that will transform your Halloween party experience from stressful to absolutely magical. But here's what most people don't realize. There's one crucial mistake that so many families make that can waste hours of you standing in line, and I'm going to reveal exactly what that is and how to avoid that in this video. And for those who do not know, my name is Mike and I am the owner of the Park Prodigy, and if this seems like the type of content or videos that you need to be prepared for your next Walt Disney World vacation, be sure to hit that subscribe button as I have a ton of videos on similar topics coming out in the coming weeks. But let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we're about to break down some of my favorite tips and tricks for visiting Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And I've done a couple of videos like this in the past. However, this is just like my updated, here are some of the most up-to-date recent changes, tips, and tricks that you need to know about when visiting Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So let's jump right in and let's start with some of the basics, and that is going to be, Mike, when can I get the cheapest Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets, right? And that kind of ties into how much do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets cost. So right now, on average, most guests are going to pay around $159 per person to attend Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. When you start to break it down by month, August is still going to be the cheapest month to try to visit, where the low side we're going from $119 per person all the way up to $149 per person. September, just like it would kind of sound, is right in the middle. On the low side, you're going to be around the $139 per person. On the high side, you're going to be around $179. And then moving over to October, we have the low side at $179 per person, and the high side is $229 per person. The other important thing here to keep in mind is that these events do sell out. So we always recommend to purchase your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets as soon as possible. So that brings me to my next tip and trick, and that's going to be, when is the best day to visit Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? And the interesting thing here is, in the past, I would have told you that Tuesday was the best day to visit, but based on some of the data that we're looking at, we're actually pointing towards Sunday being the best day to visit for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And I would say on the flip side of this, another important thing to keep in mind is, if you're thinking about visiting, maybe you bought your tickets, maybe you have not, but you know you're going to Disney World during the Halloween season, one of the important tips to keep in mind is that visiting Magic Kingdom itself during Not So Scary Halloween Party days, meaning if there's going to be a party that night, go to Magic Kingdom during the day. The only caveat would be you have to be okay with not seeing the fireworks. But because Magic Kingdom Park closes a little earlier on these days, it tends to be less crowded. So right now, we're seeing the parties consistently being on Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. That's in August and September. And then in October, the parties are falling on Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, and Thursday. But now let's move over to that huge mistake that I see a ton of families make, which can set you back a huge amount, and that is not showing up to the party at 4 o'clock when you can actually get in. So yes, the party officially starts at 7 p.m., but did you know that with your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party ticket, you can actually get into Magic Kingdom at 4 p.m. and that gives you an extra 3 hours to get a lot done. So what are some of the things that you could do with this extra time? Well, some of my favorite things are going to be, make a sit-down dining reservation. So that allows you to go eat before the party starts, so you're not wasting time once the party does start. Another really popular one is you can go and access some of the special character meet and greets that are only available for party guests. They sometimes will start earlier. One of the ones that is pretty consistently open early is going to be Jack and Sally, which is really popular. And this actually ties into my next tip and trick, and one of the big mistakes that some guests might not even realize for this year's party, which can also cost them hours, and that is going to be that Tron Light Cycle Run and Tiana's Bayou Adventure are both now regular standby lines. And this is different from the past, where these, especially during the regular park hours, these rides were running through a virtual queue. Well, that's no longer the case, and it's definitely no longer the case for these special events. It's actually, this was brought in last year, but the reason why it's so important this year is we actually have wait time data to try to take a look at and figure out, well, how is this going to impact you if you do go and wait on these lines during the Halloween party? And I would say, kind of tying in, the tip and trick here is that you want to make sure that you hit the most popular rides before the party starts, so you're not wasting time waiting online. So there's really 5 major rides that I have kind of pinpointed based on the 2024 wait time data that you want to make sure you try to ride them either between 4 to 7 o'clock, or if you're visiting Magic Kingdom on another day, go and enjoy these rides then, because they are going to tie up a tremendous amount of time that you could be enjoying getting candy, trick-or-treating, watching the parades, fireworks, all that good stuff, right? So the 5 rides are going to be from most popular down to least popular. At number 1, we have Tron Light Cycle Run with an average wait time of 55 minutes. We have the Haunted Mansion with an average wait time of 26 minutes. Peter Pan's Flight, average wait time 26 minutes. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, average wait time 26 minutes. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, average wait time of 26 minutes. And so you could see, if you hit those 5 rides during some of the other hours that you have, you could save almost 2.5 hours, and that you get that back within your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And again, if you're showing up at 7 o'clock and you're trying to go on those 2 rides, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. The party's only 5 hours. Those 5 rides are 2.5 hours. You're pretty much just eating up time, really, for no reason. And this ties into the next tip and trick. Don't forget that there are some rides that have a frightful flair. So a few iconic Magic Kingdom park attractions will have an extra eerie vibe during the party. Feel the Halloween spirit with spooky music, special effects, and more at these 3 locations. So we have Experience Space Mountain in pitch black darkness while listening to spooky tunes. Go for a spin at a Mad Tea Party, as special lighting effects provide a unique ambiance, and then get a kick out of fun jokes presented with a Halloween twist at Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Okay, but enough speaking about the rides. What about some of the other cool stuff that comes with your Halloween party ticket? So one of the really fun ones is, of course, going to be that you get to trick and treat all around Main Street. But did you know that these can actually be some of the longest lines of the night? It's kind of crazy. And so the main tip and trick here is, if you can wait to trick and treat until a little bit later at night, you typically will see shorter lines, but there are also going to be some of the most popular treat locations that will really have longer lines because they have multiple trick-or-treat handout locations within the line, or they might have some characters that you can see along the trick-or-treat trail as well. So some of the best trick-or-treat locations, in my opinion, are definitely going to be Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Tortuga Tavern. I love Mickey's PhilharMagic because you can actually take a seat and a break, and you can just, they have like some old school cartoons on the big screen, and so you can kind of just watch the cartoons, enjoy your candy. But Princess Fairy Tale Hall is also going to be a very popular one, as last year they had the Evil Queen in this location. So it was just something really, really cool and unique that a lot of people want to experience. Okay, over to the next tip and trick. Don't forget that there is 2 parade times. And so in 2024, Disney actually released an 8:15 parade, which is earlier than years past. So you still have that 8:15 first parade, and now you have an 11:15 second parade. And it's important to keep in mind that both of these parades leave out of Frontierland and make their way over to Main Street USA. So if you're kind of trying to get the best view, or if you're going to sit for the parade on Main Street USA, just keep that in mind, as it's probably going to take you, take around 10 to 15 minutes to get over to that section of the park. And it could be a little bit longer until, depending on where you're sitting on Main Street, till you see this parade. So if it's an 8:15 parade time, start, and you're sitting on Main Street, you might not get the parade until, 8:30, 8:45, depending on where you're sitting. And that does matter, especially because you're probably going to be sitting for a long period of time. Another really important one specifically for the parade is, if you've seen on social media or if you've been in the past, Max Powerline, in the past anyway, has come out to kind of do like a quick little performance before the parade starts. And Max is only going to be on Main Street based on years past. So if you want to specifically see Max, again, you do have to make sure you have the right seating on Main Street. The other tip and trick here is the parade always starts with the Headless Horseman coming down, but that will be on the entire parade route. So you don't need a special designated area for that. Another really popular one, of course, is going to be with your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party ticket. You do get to enjoy the special fireworks, and that's going to be nightly at 10 p.m. So the show is hosted by Jack Skellington from Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, and features a special music, projections, laser, and of course, fireworks that you would expect. But it is Halloween themed, which is really, really cool. One of my favorite tips and tricks here is make sure you do arrive early. I would say you want to arrive at least 45 minutes before You're cutting it a little close, especially if you want a really, really good spot if you show up after that. Tip and trick, grab your spot. You could send dad, whoever, to go get snacks for the group so you guys kind of hang out. You snack on the trick-or-treating candy that you grabbed. Speaking of candy, food, another really important tip and trick is that there is an overwhelming amount of specially themed food. And I guess the tip here would be, like I said earlier, I would not book a table service reservation unless you're going, multiple times to the party. I just feel like it eats up too much time. There's other fun, cool stuff to do. And also the quick service restaurants have a lot of specially themed food that you can enjoy. So some of the restaurants that have food are going to be Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, Casey's Corner, Pecos Bill, The Friar's Nook, Pinocchio Village House, and Sleepy Hollow. Now, was the food can't miss, over the top great? It's pretty much hit or miss, in my opinion. Some of the things that we really enjoyed were actually going to be at Pinocchio Village House, where they had a specially themed flatbread. They had specially themed like chicken tenders. We really enjoyed the food there, but the dessert at the party was also really, really well done. I did a video last year on if it was worth it or not. We ate a lot of the treats. You can see a lot of the snack food in that video, so just be sure to go check it out if you want to see more of the food options. Some of the other cool things that we've really enjoyed that we hope they bring back is if you're looking for the Hitchhiking Ghost, last year they were in Frontierland right next to the Country Bear Jamboree. So keep that in mind. That was something really, really cool that they haven't done in years past. And don't forget, there is the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular Show, which does go on several times throughout the night. But if you can make it towards a little bit later in the night, you get to take advantage of lower crowds. So that's one of the tips and tricks. Of course, it's not possible for everyone because a lot of families have young kids. And of course, young kids, especially when in a day at Disney World, they're going to get tired and you want to take them back at a decent hour. I get that. If you can stay up though a little bit later, and if you can make it to the last show, the last Hocus Pocus show is at 12 o'clock at night. So right before the party ends, you'll typically have a better viewing experience as well. But some of the last minute tips and tricks is don't forget, it is a Halloween party, but you're still in Florida. So make sure you pack and are prepared for the weather. Don't forget to pack ponchos, water bottles, sunscreen. If you're showing up at 4 o'clock, especially in August or September, it's still going to be really, really hot, especially if you're wearing costumes. You want to be prepared. Stay hydrated. And last but not least, bring an extra trick-or-treating bag, especially if you think the ones that they give you for free at the party are not going to be big enough. But that is it, everyone. That's essentially my updated over 13 favorite tips and tricks for visiting Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I really, really hope that you found this video helpful. Like I said, if you did find this video helpful and you want more videos like this, please just be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, as I have a lot more similar content coming out in the coming weeks to make sure you are as prepared as possible for your next Walt Disney World vacation. And if you still need help planning that Disney World trip, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use on our website to save an extra $50 off your next Walt Disney World vacation. And that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.